The following program may contain coarse language, violence, nudity, mature subject matter, or scenes which may not be suitable for all viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X-Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
Welcome to the X-Zone, everyone. My name is Rob McConnell, and for the next 4 hours, I'm your host and your guide as together we cross the time-space continuum to this place that I call the X-Zone. It's a place where people dare to believe and dare to be heard. It's a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. And the X-Zone comes to you Monday through Friday from 10 p.m. Eastern until 2 a.m. Eastern, right here on the X-Zone Broadcast Network and our fine family of broadcast affiliates, both in the terrestrial radios, that's AM, FM, cable, as well as satellite providers worldwide. Toll free, 800-610-7035. Email xzone at xzoneradiotv.com. On all social media sites, X-Zone Radio TV, and our website. You all probably know by now, but just in case you're joining us for the first time, it's xzoneradiotv.com. X-Zone Nation, my first guest tonight is Joe Augustyn, and after winning a Nissan FOCUS Award for writing and attending AFI on Production Fellowship, Joe spent 2 decades working in Hollywood, writing and producing movies. His first feature film, Night of the Demons, is a cult favorite, gaining more fans with each new generation of teens. Now, in 2001, he left Hollywood to move back east and writes novels. His first published in 2012 was The 9 Lives of Felicia Miller, a dark tale about a teenage girl who is a shapeshifter. His second was Dead Rain, a tale of the zombie apocalypse. Now, his most recently completed a non-fiction book entitled GHOSTWRITER, The Polaroid Ghost and Other True Tales of the Paranormal. Joe's website is www.wildcatpress.net. And Joe, welcome to the X-Zone.
Thank you. Good pleasure to be here.
Tell me, where does your fascination with zombies, demons, ghosts, shapeshifters come from?
It all started when I was really young. My grandmother used to tell us spooky stories, true stories of her, her past, and my family had a lot of ghost stories, and I, from the time I was about 14, I started to really take it seriously. But I've always been a horror fan, basically, and into the paranormal. I remember when I was little, probably like 7 or 8, when I first started to go to the library, and the first books I went for were books about witchcraft and other, I don't know why, it seemed more interesting than, mundane subjects.
Sure.
So,
Tell me, have you yourself had any paranormal experiences?
I've had a lot of paranormal all through my life, basically.
Really?
The one that actually solidified my belief took place when I was about 14 years old, and I was always a night person and stayed up late. And when it was the night in June, school had gotten out, and it was a Friday night, so I could stay up totally late, and I was up watching The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. And I went into the kitchen and poured myself a glass of juice, and my mother had the ironing board set up in the living room to do. We had 5 kids, so She was always busy with housework. I put the glass on top of the ironing board, and I went up to go to the bathroom, and when I was halfway down the stairs, I saw the glass just tumble over as if an invisible hand had just swatted it. And I paused for a second on the stairs, and I instantly rationalized that, well, the ironing board cover must have had condensation or whatever. I ran downstairs, I got a rag, I went and I wiped it up, I went back into the kitchen, and while I was in there, my dog, Killer, who was a tough little mutt, came in and was standing in the doorway between the living room and the kitchen, and I thought he wanted to go out in the backyard, so I went over to open the back door, and I opened it and was holding it open, and instead of coming to go out, he started to growl, and I turned around and I looked, and he was standing like just hunched over in the doorway with his fur up and his teeth bared, and his eyes were just kind of glowing, and he was staring at the space right next to me, and it just, between the glass flipping over and that, it freaked me out, and I ran upstairs. When I got to the top of the stairs, he was already up there. He had beaten me somehow on the way. And so I went downstairs and I locked up and went to bed early that night. But since then, I've had a bunch of experiences.
All right, let's talk more about your experiences when we come back from this 2-minute commercial break. Thanks very much for joining us tonight, Joe. Sure. I'm looking forward to the next hour with you. Exonation, Joe Augustyn is our special guest this hour. www.wildcatpress.net. That's www.wildcatpress.net. This is the X-Zone. My name is Rob McConnell. The Relmar Multimedia app is now available at Google Play, also at the Apple Store, and on Amazon.com. You can listen to the show, you can listen to the archives, you can read the X-Chronicles newspaper, watch the X-Zone TV shows, as well as find out who's coming on the show and the events. There's a big price for this. A one-time price of 99 cents. Ooh. We'll be back on the other side of this commercial break with Joe Augustyn. This is the X-Zone. I am Rob McConnell. Don't go away. Modern Esoteric, Beyond Our Senses by Brad Olson, consummates the lifology story about where humanity originates. It is the lost continents, the primitive wisdom, the mythos of creation, and the rethinking of ancient history as we are taught in academia. There is much more to the story than what we have been told. As this is the first book in the Esoteric series, Modern Esoteric starts at the beginning of time and accelerates up to this modern age. Future Esoteric is book 2 in the series and takes a forward-looking position ahead of today with an open and honest examination of the ET issue and various unexplained phenomena. To discover the writings of author Brad Olson, visit www.bradolson.com. That's www.bradolson.com. Named one of the world's greatest psychics, Elizabeth Joyce is now giving readings worldwide via Skype. Elizabeth Joyce is recognized for her clairvoyant ability to help find missing persons, her analysis of dreams, past life regression work, mediumship, and her accurate predictions. Elizabeth has been a frequent guest on the X-Zone radio show with yours truly, Rob McConnell, now for several years. For an appointment with Elizabeth Joyce, call 201-934-8986 or Skype at elizabeth.joyce. And for more information, you can always visit Elizabeth Joyce online at www.new-visions.com.
Do you have a dis-ease that you would like to alleviate through a natural means? Have you been contacted by angels, ghosts, or even extraterrestrials and want to validate these experiences? Or would you simply like to speak with someone who can help you find your life's purpose? I'm Dr. Joseph Mara, and I'm offering my services free of charge for first-time clients contacting me during the month of April. These free consultations include angel card readings, guided meditations, life coaching, and energy healing. If you have always wanted to explore these types of experiences but were skeptical or simply could not afford them, then take advantage of this free special offer. Contact me through my website, aguidinglight, spelled LITE.com, to schedule your consultation today. Until then, I offer you love, light, and laughter.
Welcome back, everyone. Joe Augustyn is our special guest. Augustyn, I should say, is our special guest. www.wildcatpress.net is his website. And Joe, why do you think, here we are in the 21st century, everybody's got high-tech gadgets up the yin-yang, and yet everybody likes to get the bejesus scared out of them. They love watching vampires. They love watching werewolves. Zombies are a big thing. How come?
I think it's basically just escapism. Horror gives people a cathartic experience. It basically takes you a step beyond all the anxiety that we encounter every day, although these days it's pretty hard to compete with the real life anxiety.
Isn't it? Isn't that the truth?
But I think that's the root of it, is that people basically want to get taken to a place where that is kind of abstract, so they can forget about the everyday reality and get focused on this abstract horror, and then have it resolved at the end in a way that hopefully releases their tensions that were built up during the experience.
Geez, the way you describe it, it sounds therapeutic.
It is. I think it is therapeutic. I think that's why it's so popular.
You know, 2012 was the year of the great apocalypse. We had everybody, well, I should say the majority of people actually believed the world was going to come to an end on December the 21st, 2012. Then we have all these religious cults that are predicting the end of the world. The apocalypse, is this the easy way out for a lot of people?
I think that it just seems like we are closer and closer to a real apocalypse. And so people, I mean, you see what's happening today in the news in the Middle East. And so I think that's, and maybe for some people they actually would like it to come true. I don't know. They're sort of, a group death wish or something, or a chance. I think that there's a kind of curious thrill in like the whole zombie apocalypse thing. I think a lot of people would like to be involved in a zombie apocalypse where all the society breaks down and all the rules. It's, you basically are left to your own devices and your own skills and smarts to survive, basically, with the freedom to, just have an enemy that's like there's no moral attachment to dispatching the enemy, basically. So
is it the fan that dictates to the producers, or is the producer the one who dictates to the fan?
I think that that basically the producer has to do what is right for the producer. Unfortunately, I think too many producers do go the other way, and that's why we have so many lemming productions coming out of Hollywood. A film like Saw hits, and then over the next 5 years you get 10 different versions of Saw that are not as interesting. The first one might have been interesting because it was novel, but as the novelty wears off, they just become tedious, basically.
Yeah, what are they up to, Rocky 795 by now? Talk about The Walking Dead. Poor Sylvester Stallone doesn't look that well these days. He looks like he's Walking Dead. You shared with us one of your paranormal experiences. Would you be able to share another one with us? Sure.
Actually, the house I live in, I've had a lot of experiences in. I found it. When I moved back from California, I lived in New Jersey for 2 years on the New Jersey shore at my brother's house. And then I was interested in moving back to Philadelphia, and I had this particular neighborhood picked out that I liked. And my brother found a house for sale in the neighborhood, and it was really cheap. It was literally about the price of a mid-range car, and which was about an eighth of what homes in the area normally would go for. So we thought, well, let's hurry down and take a look at it, and we were the first people to go down and check it out. And it was a shell. Basically, it's a house that was on a really nice block, but it was a twin home. There was a house next to it and it has a double lot. And it had been basically